Shalom, Israel. We're going to start momentarily. Amadwa, Panya, Jerusalem. Stand and face Jerusalem. Before I read everything. The blessing of the Sabbath. Barakata Yahweh. Bahasham. Yahawashai. Asherah. Nathalanawa. Hashabat. Bashalawam. The water. Aman. You, Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashai, that give to us the Sabbath in peace. Be it. Psalm 121. The Ilam, Makkah, Asherarium, Akkad. Anya, Arayam, Yimya, Al, Ahariam, Mahayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Yabu'a, Mayahawa, Shasha, Shamayam, Waratiza, La'a, Yinathan, Lamawat, Rokalia, Yanawam, Shashamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shashawamar, Yasharella, Yahweh, Shamaria, Yahweh, Tozalia, Ail, Yad, Yamyana, Yawamam, Hashamash, Hakaya, La'a, Hakaya, Wayarak, La'a, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Yashamaria, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Napashya, Yahweh, Yashamar, Hawalakia, Wabawa'a, Ya, Wabawa'a, Ya, Maitha, Wa'ai, Iwalam, Bahasham, Yahawasha, to water, Aman.
Psalm 121. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. Shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth even forevermore.
Amen. Amen. Shema Yasharella. Shammai, Yasharella, Yahweh, Allahainawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Shammai, Yasharella, Yahweh, Allahainawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Shammai, Yasharella, Yahweh, Allahainawa, Yahweh, Akkad.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord. Amen.
Amen. Yahweh Tapala, the Lord's Prayer. Abiyanawa, Shabashamayam, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Ratizawanka, Haya, Aisha, Baharatiza, Ka, Ha Aisha Laka Alhayam Akariam Iponya La A Taisha Laka Pasal Wala A Dwaibadam La A Talakwaka Shamwa Yahweh Alahayaka Lashawa Zakar At Hayawam Hashabat Lakodashwa Kabad Abaka Wa Amaka La A Taratizak La A Sana'a La A Saganab La A Taina Shakwa La A Takamat Kal Ashara Aman.
Exodus 22. I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bind them, thou shalt do them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. For the 7th day is the Sabbath to the Lord thy power. In it thou shalt not do work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy stranger, nor thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle. But the 7th day is the Sabbath to the Lord thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and honored it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not go to thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not kill thy neighbor's wife, nor his maidservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Amen.
Amen. Yeshua be seated. Barakta Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Asherah, Nathalanawa, Parya Hagapan, the water, Aman, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, At Yasha Allah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that give to us fruit of the vine. Thank you. So be it. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, with Israel. Amen. I'm Madwa Panya Jerusalem. Stand and face Jerusalem. Barakata Yahweh. Hagadal. Rakawam. Abiyar. Wana Ra'ah. Aliyawan. Malak. Shal. Shamayam. Waratiza. Wakal. Dabariam. Kayayam. Wagam. Hamashiach. Mayahawa. Hadawanawa. Ahabnawa. Hapala. Yabaitiza. Yahawashai. Zakarnawa. Yahawa. Baratazawan. Imka. Izarnawa. Bana. Wasap. Yasha'ala. Al. Naya. Nan. Naya. Nawa. Naya Nawa. Nan. Awa. Naya Nawa. Yam Yan. Aitha. Kawa. Kaya Wam Yam.
Just read the English. English is Hebrew, or how do you say transliteration? Just read that.
Kaya Wam Yam. Makodam. Babakasha. Shalak. Maakala. Watazawadak. Alahayam. La. Maganawa. Rapanawa. Washamar. Ailnawa. Baikor. Shalak. Haroka. Shal. Yahawashai. Lanawa. Lala Madnawa. Rabiam. Hakama. Wada'ai. Shal. Tabarka. Bahasham. Yahawashai. Tukwara. Tumyad. Waiwalam. Aman. Blessed are you, Yahweh, the great, merciful, mighty, terrible, most high power, King of heaven and earth, and all things living, and also the anointed. From Yahweh, our Lord, our friend, the wonderful counselor, Yahweh Shai. Remember us, Yahweh, favorably, your people Israel. Help us build and gather Israel most high. We beg you, right now, like the days of old, please send Michael and the righteous powers to protect us, heal us, and watch over us. Mainly send the spirit of Yahweh Shai to us to teach us much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of thy word. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always and forever. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that give to us the law. Barakata Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Asherah, Netanelawa, Hathawara. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that give to us the light to see. Barakata Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Asherah, Netanelawa, Awar, Larawat. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that give to us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakata Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Asherah, Netanelawa, Koran, Ha'ayam, Lakora, Ha'aim. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that give to us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barakata Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Asherah, Netanelawa, Hashaman, Zayat, Lamashak, Yasha'ala. Yashaba, be seated. No. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Was everybody Sabbath? Shabbat? Sabbath? Shabbat. Okay, that's good. Today, my name is Yawachanan. We say in Kahan, priest, presiding over the Sabbath service. And today we're reading Exodus 35 and 36, our deliverance book. Yeah, it says a lot. You see me? Yeah. It just says on the bottom, stop broadcasting. See me? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, turn off. Don't connect to the Wi-Fi, right? All right. Go right into it. So, we Black, Hispanics, and Native American, who Father is the same. We're God's chosen people. We're mainly right now in the Western Hemisphere, but we are scattered all the four corners of the earth. Because we travel and we go to other countries and live to even, the Spaniard came and it took even some of our Native American or people back to Spain. So we're going through a lot of trials and tribulation as how Yahushua Christ says. I just want to read it quickly. All the hell we're catching in this captivity. This is the worst captivity, because this captivity, we don't know our nationality and we don't come together as a nation, the majority of us. Revelation 2:9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So here, Jesus Christ is in red letter. He knows our works, what we're doing, and tribulation, what we're going through, and all the poverty in the ghettos and the slums. And one or two try to make it up there, trying to make it as like a crabs in a barrel, They take our talents, those who are talented or educated, and take them out, you know, take us out and put us with them, you know. So we feel some of us feel we're better because we have some talent and education, and we leave the hood, you know, leave the neighborhood, and it's like a crab in a barrel. And after they use us up, then they spit us out. It's like next. Now we are zero.
I was saying how it's like an unspoken rule they have called a one Negro at a time.
Yeah.
When it comes to certain positions, right? You're the top person, and say they'll let anyone else in until you've had your fill, and then they move to the next person. But to have like 4 or 5 of us in a certain dominant position, that would be a problem. Or it wouldn't be a problem with their nationality. You know, whether it's in certain sports, certain movies, or like comedians, right? Movie actors, comedians, you'll see they have that one Negro at a time, or certain positions in corporate America. But what you said was on point about them trying to utilize us for talent. I want to read this real quick. The Babylonians did the same thing. They took us over. This is Daniel chapter 1. Go along with what you're saying with Revelation 2 and 9. Daniel chapter 1. I'll read verses 3 and 4. Like I'll read 1 to 4. Daniel chapter 1, verses 1 to 4. Daniel chapter 1, verse 1, it says, in the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with part of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar, to the house of his God. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. Verse 3, and the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes. Verse 4, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all knowledge, and cunning skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. So you take the best of the brightest of the conquered people and integrate them into your setup.
To build up your kingdom, you know. I gotta take note of that. Take the best of the best and put them out there, you know. Saying the rest of you can be like this, you know, too. If you're smart or able to utilize you. Back in the day, we used to like sing and dance and you know, entertain them. And the rest of us out there in the fields is like, look at him doing the jigger, you know.
You say run, sing, dance, play?
Yeah, run, sing, dance, or play. And don't even speak a word against Massa. Otherwise, they'll cut you off. Don't even say a word. So a lot of things happen to our community and our people, and the higher ups, they you know, among our people, they're like silent, you know, no comment. I don't want to cut off my money supply and my fame and fortune. You know, I don't want to do that. The minute you say anything, they cut you off, scandalize you, and go back to the dirt. A lot of us we're comfortable up there, so we don't want to say anything against Master. You know, we don't want to cut off our supply because we get to eat some of the crumbs that Master leave for us, and I like eating that crumbs. You know. So we're gonna go into the Hebrew first, which we're Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew is our tongue, our language, and our nationality. Before we came into Israel, when Jacob's name was changed from Jacob to Israel, the Prince of the Power. So it's good to know some Hebrew, so you don't just be out there like you don't know any word. Like shalom, shalom, peace. We should at least know that. And Israel, Yasha Allah, at least so you don't get stuck out there. So it's nice to know the Hebrew. So we're going into it right now. Exodus chapter 35, verse 1. Everybody got it? Yeah, in Hebrew. So, like again, this is my interlinear. This is just the book of Exodus by itself, nice and big. It's not the King James Version translation, but for the interlinear, but it gives me an idea of each word. Sometimes, they're off by certain words, but it gives me an idea what the word is, You can see it. See it.
Like you said earlier about scandalizing the name, Paul Robeson wrote a song about that. They scandalized his name, so he was fighting for his people.
Yeah, I thought about him, but I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, Paul Robeson.
He was very famous, He was famous doing all his movies and plays and everything. And then like that Negro opened his mouth.
I read the King. I like, oh, I forgot the name of that movie. But he was great. He was back there. He won the first two that went to Brown University with the other brother. I can't think of his name right now. But those two was like they went to. No, he went to Rutgers. The other one he went to Brown. I can't think of his name. He lived a long time.
And even not too long ago, even Michael Jackson, he's talking about I am black, and he's talking about they're trying to kill him, and he's saying all these things. But when he was really up there and making money and fame and fortune, and they love him, entertaining them and everything like that. But at the end, he's coming out saying these things, and even
Alex. But even if Paul Robeson's on the same professional football team, they kicked all the blacks off in the 30s. Yeah. They let them back into the 50s. They kicked them out for like, I think, World War One. That's when they taught the women's football league, like they taught the women's baseball league. They just racist, like you said. There's no good in them, period.
Even with sports, so I heard is like we're very good, and they're like, wow, I think we're winning a lot of games and stuff like that, and it's like, no, we got to take one of them out, one or two of them out, Jackie Robinson, and integrating with our team, so he can win for us,
He wasn't even the best of the best in the league. He was just average. Statue Page came in the league when he was like 49, almost 50.
Yeah, even a lot of Hispanics now, they going to Cuba and getting the best of the best out there, and even for the Yankees used to be like, oh, white, and then some blacks came in. Now they're getting the Hispanics.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. It was the Negroes, the so-called Negro United States, that went to Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Mexico. They started some leagues down there, and then who Esau would come around and want to take the whole cake. But it was our people who was the Negro leagues going there, showing Puerto Rican how to play baseball, Dominican, Cuban, and Mexico, all them so-called Spanish countries. It was a Negro league in America that went there, that toured over there. Called for Barnberg, showed them how to play international baseball. It wasn't Esau.
Oh, we went over there first, and then Esau was like, oh, we gotta go over there and pick the best of the best and throw them some money.
But it was us first. If you look into history, a lot of Hispanics, those ones, they played in the Negro League too.
So Let's get into the Hebrew right now. Exodus 35, verse 1. Wayakwa ha Wayakwa hal masha at kal ha dat banya yasha'ala waya amar alham laha ham ashara taza wa Yahweh la I shat atham, verse 2, shashat yamayam. Oh, yum yum. I was thinking about it as yamayam. Oh, it's yum yum. Okay.
The one by itself. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sa Aisha mala kaha wa ba ya wom hasha ba ya I ya Yahaya lakam kodash Shabbat Shabbat 1 la Yahweh Ha'aisha bawa mala'akaha wa yawa math. Verse 3 la'a thaba I rawa ash bakal masha bat yakam ba yawam ha Shabbat. Verse 4 wa ya amar masha al kal haidat banya yasha'ala la amar za ha dabar ashara taza waha Yahweh la amar. Verse 5 kwa kawa ma ma'a kwa ma'a sakam sa maha la Yahweh kal na da yab la bawa ya ba. Oh, lab, like heart, like lab, labwa.
And right before Nadia was Willie. Nadia Lama.
Nadiyab,
It's Willie.
labwa, ya ba wa aha ath. Shalom. Sarah wa math. Yahweh zahab, gold. Wa ka sa wa na ka sha wa tha ka lat wa ra ga man wa tha wa la ait shanya wa shash wa I za yum. Oh. Verse 7 wa I rat ya lam mam ma da ma yam wa I rat tha ka sha yum wa I tazawa sha tha yum. Verse 8 wa shaman la ma war wa ba sham yum la shaman ha ma sha kaha wa la quat rat ha sa mayam. Verse 9. Wa abanya shaham wa abanya ma la ayam la apawad wa la kashan. Verse 10. Wakal kakama lab bakam wa ba awa wa ya aishwa at kal ashara taza waha Yahweh. Verse 11. At hama haha kan at wa at maka shahawa at Kora sa yawa wa at Kor rush wawa ya Kora sha yawa at bara yakwa at Imad yawa wa at ad yawa. Verse 12. At wa at da yawa at ha kapa rat wa at para kat ha ma sak. Verse 13. At hasha la kan wa at ba da yawa wa at kal yawa wa at lakam hapanyam. Verse 14.
Become onion. It really means bread of the faces.
Oh, because panya is before our face, right?
Of face. Or for appearance.
Yeah.
So it's like bread of the faces.
Okay, there's lakam bread.
Sugar.
Verse 14. Wa at manarat hama ahwar wa at kala yaha nara sa yaha wa at shaman hama ahwar. Verse 15.
Shaman. We say bread.
Hashaman, right? We say hashaman, right? The oil. Shaman.
Hama, a war, which is for the light.
Hama awar for the light. It's the illumination here. 15. Wa'at ma zabak kwa rat wa'at ba da wa'at shaman hama sha kaha wa'at rat ha sa ma yam wa'at ma saka ha path ha pa thak ha pa thak, right? La la pat kak hama shakan. Verse 16. At ha at mazabak ha I laha wa at ma ka bar hana ka shat ashara lawa at bada yawa kal yawa at haka yar wa at kanawa. Verse 17 at
Remember the word as his,
oh, it's base kan.
which is the base of the foot. His foot.
Oh, oh, wow, possessive, right?
Right.
Verse 17 at kwa la I ya haka tazara ha katazar at Imad Yawa wa at Adana Yaha wa at Masak Sha'ai Ha Tazar. Verse 18 at Yathadat Ha Mashakan wa at Yathadat Ha Tazar wa at Maya Thara Yaham. Verse 19 at Bagadia Hasha Rad La Sha Rath Bakodash at Bagad Da Ya Ha Kodash La Aharon Ha Ha Kahan wa at Bagadia Banyawa La Kahan. Verse 20 wa ya Taza Awa Kal I Dat Banya Yasha'ala Mala Pan Ya Masha. Verse 21 Waya Ba Awa Kal Ayash Ashara Na Sha Awa La Bawa Wakal Ashara Na Da Maha Rawa Kawa Athawa Haba Ya Awa At Thara Wa Mat Yahawa La Ma La A Kat A Hal Ma Wa Aid Wala Kal I Bad Thawa Wala Ba Gad Ya Ha Kodash. Verse 22 Waya Ba Awa Ha A An Sha Yam Ail Hana Sha Yam Kal Na Da Yab Lab Hama Haba Ya Awa Ka Kaka Wana Zam Wa Sa Wata Ba Ait Wa Ka Wa Asher, Maza, Kal, Asherah, Yap, Salna, Wa, Pat, Zahab, La Yahweh, verse 23, Wakal, Ayash, Asherah, Nama, Taza'ah, Ath, Athwa, Thakalat, Wa, Ra, Ga, Man, Wa, At, Wa, La, Ait, Shanya, Wa, Shash, Wa, Za, Yum, Wa, Rath, Ya, Lum, Ma, Da, Mayam, Wa, Rath, Ha, Ka, Sha, Yum, Ha, Ba, Ya, Awa, verse 24, Kal, Mara, Yum, Sa, Ra, Wa, Math, Ka, Sap, Ka, Shat, Ha, Ba, Ya, Awa, At, Thara, Wa, Math, Yahweh, Wakal, Asherah, Nama, Taza, Athwa, Tazaya, Shatha, Yum, La, Kal, oh, Shatha, Yum, that one? Oh, a Benjamin accent. Lakal, Mala, Kat, Ha'ai,
You see right there. Mala, mala, that's what child you would say, mala.
Malakat.
Your accent there. You see,
It's a Mala, Kat.
you see Shatayam, which is Shittam, you would say Shatayam.
You gotta put a little flavor in there, you know.
They say sibling. They say sibling.
Ha'ai, but the ba, ya, Awa, Wakal, Sha, Mat, Lab, ba, ya, da, Yaha, ba, Yad, Yaha. Or Yad is hand. Uh, Somehow, Yad, ba, in, right? Be in or with hand and something over here.
It's pretty much women wise apart in the hands of her. That's what they do with their hands. That's where the wall, which is the spine.
See, Proverbs 31, right? She worked diligently with her hands, right? And I'm just trying to paraphrase it. Sa, wa, wa, ya, ba, ya, awa, ma, sa, wa, ha, at, ha, sa, kol, sa, wa, at, ha, ra, ga, man, at, sa, wa, la, ith, ha, shanya, wa, at, ha, shash, verse 26, wakal, ha, na, sha, yum, asherah, na, sha'a, la, no, lab is heart. Lab, oh, you say this one?
Labna, their heart,
Lab, oh, labna. Okay,
their heart. So it's a part of them.
yeah, labna. Ath, Athanha, ma, kaka, ma. Sa, wa, ath, ha'ai, zayam, Verse 27. Wa sha a ha ba ya awa at a banya ha sha hum wa at a banya ha ma la a yam la a pawad. It's an epod. How do you say that one? La a pawad. Okay. Kashan 38. Ha ba sham wa at ha shaman la ma a war. Yeah. Wa la shaman. You reading it interlinear? Oh, okay. It helps, right? Ma sha ha ma sha ha ha. Is the King James version you have interlinear?
Yes, King James on the right side. So scripture for all.org, the website I will go to.
Yeah, I use Bible Hub. It's pretty straight, you know, right underneath it. Wala kwa sa rat ha sa mayam, verse 29. Kal ayash wa a shaha ashara na dab lab ma. Right? Asam la haba ya a la kal hama la a kaha ashara taza waha Yahweh I sha wat bayad masha ha ba ya awa banya yashala na da baha na da baha la Yahweh. Verse 30. Wayamar masha al banya yashala wa awa ko ra ra awa kora a Yahweh ba sham ba taza la al. What does his name mean?
I think it means in the shade of the apple.
Oh, okay. What is it? Barazol. I thought it was like Barazol or something. Okay, no. Okay. Oh. Oh. Ban, warrior. Ban, ka, war. Ma, saha, Yahawada. Verse 31. Waya, ma, la'a, a, athwa, ra, rak, ala. Oh, rurka. Rurka. Yeah, rurka. Yeah, what? Rurka. Yeah. La, alahayam, ba, ka, kama, ba, sa, ba, wanha, wa, ba, da'ait, wa, bakal, mala, a, kaha. Verse 32. Wa, la, ka, shab, ma, ka, sha, bath, la, I, shat, ba, zahab, wa, ba, ka, Sap wa ban ka shat. Verse 33. Wa ba ka ra shat. Aban la ma la ath wa ba kar shat. Aitiza la I sha wat. Bakal mala a kath maka sha bath wala ha war rath. Verse 34. And that's Nathan balabwa hawa a wa a ha la ya ban haka ya ma no haka ya sa maka.
I think his name is Wolf's name. But I ain't looking it up. Look at it. Abia Samat. It's like my brother supports. It was Samat. Samat really means support. So it's like
Oh,
Akia Samat. Sorry, I said Abia Samat. Akia Samat, like my brother.
oh,
supports.
brother Ak. Yo, Ak.
And I think Wa oh yeah, Abba. Something Abba at the end. Oh yeah, Abba.
Yeah.
So
Ak ya sa mak. Lama sa ha dan. 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 Verse 35. Mala a atham kakamath lab la I sha what kal mala a kath ka rush wa ka shab karash. Oh, okay. Wa ka shab wa ra kwam ba tha ka lath wa ba a ra ga man ba tha wa la ith hasha ha shanya wa ba shash wa a rag aishwa kal mala a ka ha.
Aishwa. Aisha.
No, oh yeah, Aisha artisans kal mala a ka ha. Oh, you said that word? Mala aka. You see it so many times in here, right? Wa ka shabia ma ka shabath. That's 35. Woo.
I think
That was fun.
Shabbat is like cunning, which is not
Yes.
Mala'aka, it's like, you know what?
Yeah,
Look
man.
at the Makai Shabbat. More specific.
Shalom.
What we
Woo. A lot of craftsmanship. Cunning works. Craftsmanship. So sometime back in the days, certain schools you used to have shop, you know?
yeah, we did that.
So, yes, I remember the other guy's name, what was his name was Fritz Tallis. He's from New York. They both from, the other football player that went to Brown, Fritz Tallis.
Oh,
P-O-L-L-A-R-D.
another sports figure?
Yeah, them two was the first that played like professional football in what they call NFL today, and he was the first one that threw a forward pass. He was a quarterback.
Oh,
See, that's in record books. He was the first quarterback to do a forward pass. Because back then, what they did used to run, hand off and run. But he's the first one that did do the forward pass as a quarterback.
yeah, he don't want to get hurt. You just throw it, man.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that because he had older brothers, and when they tackled him, the white used to fight his legs, scratch him, poke his out, and his brother said, "Use your cleats to kick him off." So when he tackled him, he used to kick him off. Because I saw the autobiography of him on ESPN, and he was talking because he died in 1986 in Harlem. He had a
Oh,
club there and everything. He died May 11, 1986. He was
oh, okay.
born 1894. Yeah, my father's birthday, January 27th.
Oh, okay.
You know, Paul Robeson's house where he grew up is actually
Technically,
it's a
very
monument.
close.
I guess you call it.
And they said that
city
Indian
monument.
guy who was an
It's on,
Indian was a
Walnut
racist.
Street in West
The one they always brag about, they said he was straight up racist.
Oh, I thought someone was in
Really
Princeton.
thought.
It's in right on West Philly
He
on
wasn't
Walnut
Native
Street
American.
between River Street and
His mother
52nd Street.
was Irish. His father was
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, it's like right before you get to 52nd Street, the Paul Robeson house, Brother Guthrie, in West Philadelphia. Can you hear me?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, his house is right before you get to 52nd Street on, I think it's on Walnut in Philadelphia.
He lived in Philly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he probably from, I think, a Palace one in Harlem. They was best friends. Some of Paul Robeson was best friends. When you look up Fritz Palace,
Fritz something.
and Paul Robeson was very, very tight.
Brother Duffy, you said Fritz who?
He was 6'2". In what 1918, it's like a giant little mother guy.
Yeah.
You said Fritz who? What's his last name? Fritz what?
Pollard, P-O-L-L-D.
Okay.
For the he died. And they was very tight. They blackball Paul Robeson. They make a song, kind of like my name, man. I got the album right here. It's been a lot of money.
The skin what?
Like you said, they want to help your people. You help my people.
Oh.
Don't do that. You know these laws are wicked. They'll be able to help your people. Like you said too in the class. All this money over got $1 billion but they can't. They go there and build schools in Africa, but they can't help the so-called Negro here in America. So you know what's up with that.
Yeah, they kind of control our money too, It's like, I want to give money to something. So no, we have charities that you can give to. And they take care of the money and they do what they want to with it. And we give you a tax write-off. Don't just give money like that. What you doing with that money? What you need that money for? We have a lot of charities you can give to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the courage.
And that's her advisors,
But some people know how to do it in a sneaky way. They like, let me do it this way, little by little.
I remember in Katrina or something like that, some people had to, some rapper, I don't know if it was true or not, some rapper wanted to give some water to the people. And I said, no, he has to be certified. He has to go through them. You just can't go down there and give the people water like that, It has to go through them. So it's like, things like that. He has to go, Esau wanted it to go through them,
But they want to get a cut, that's why.
Yeah. All right. Exodus chapter 35, verse 1. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which the Lord had commanded that ye should do them. So, coming from the Most High, coming through Moses, to tell the children of Israel to do them. So for verse 1, I just want to verse 1, verse 1. Oh, that's what I said. James 1:22. Malak, can you read that for me? Verse 1. Yeah, James 1:22.
James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Yeah, so coming from the Most High that we're supposed to do them, not just supposed to do it because the Most High has given Moses instructions to give us. So it says, be ye, James 1:22, it says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So not just you hear it, it's like you have to do it. So Exodus 35, verse 2. It says, 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. So when you read that, it's like, wow, you to do work on the Sabbath, yeah, you should be put to death. So in the sense that we have grace, because sometimes a lot of times you have jobs like 9 to 5, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And sometimes the Sabbath starts like in the winter time at like 4:30. It starts at 4:30 and you're still working, sometimes even past 5 o'clock or work till almost 6 o'clock, on a Friday. Because it's your job or it's your contract and you have to be doing that. And plus also sometimes people work on Saturdays and try to get out of it, so you can come to the Sabbath service and service the most, and worship the Most High. But the Most High here is here, be put to death. So verse 2, you can see that in Exodus 20 and 8. It says that Exodus 20 and 8, it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. So 28 to 9. And the Most High give us 6 days, and the Sabbath is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. So even sometimes at work, if you're 9 to 5, when Friday comes, you kind of itching like, wow, sometimes you don't want to stay late and work here. You just want to go home because it's the end of the week for a lot of people who do 9 to 5. And also, I'm going to read another. Numbers 15, verse 32 to 36. Numbers 15, verse 32. Everybody got it? Numbers 15, verse 32. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. So they found him gathering sticks. And as I say, if you gather sticks, it's work, some kind of work. And sometimes you gather sticks to maybe go and cook. What his intentions were. Nobody else did it, but they found him doing this. So verse 33 says, and they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. So they brought him before Moses and Aaron and everybody, you know, because he wasn't supposed to be doing this. Verse 34, and they put him inward because it was not declared what should be done to him. Verse 35, and the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died as the Lord commanded Moses. So they stoned him to death. Also picking up sticks, and nobody else did it, and they found him doing it. And they brought him before the, you know, Aaron, Moses, and the Most High. They put him to death. Verse 3. Sama?
Just to read the complementary to that verse in Matthew 12,
Verse 2.
1 to 3.
Matthew
12, to go along with verse 2, verses 1. I'll read down to 4, actually. So this is Matthew 12, 1 and 1.
Oh, let me
At that time, Yahushua went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungered and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. So again, based on what you mentioned earlier, is your intentions, what's your motive behind doing what it is you do, right? So here it is. These men, it says, were hungered, and then they went to go and pluck corns of ears and things in the field on the Sabbath day. It says in verse 2, but when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day, which we just read in Numbers about going to do work and picking up sticks and gathering things on the Sabbath day. So they saw them gathering up food on the Sabbath day from the field, plucking up the thing. They thought, hey, they are doing laborers' work on the Sabbath day, not knowing that they were hungered and they needed something to eat. Verse 3, but he said unto them, have you not read what David did when he was an hungered and they that were with him? How he entered into the house of Yahweh and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. So when you read back in 1 Samuel 21st chapter, it shows when David and them came into the temple, and they was hungered, and the only food that was available to feed him and the men was the showbread. The priest told him, I don't have any common bread here to give to you and you guys. I only have the showbread. And he said, then they asked him, have your men been kept from women, meaning were they unclean or not? And he said, no, these men are holy, they've been kept from women. And the bread that you have, realistically, is common bread. What made it showbread is that it was sanctified to the Most High, but it's bread, right? So the priest was like, you know what? It's the only thing I have. Guys are hungry, and the priest gave the men the food to eat because what are you going to do? Let them stop there to starve? There's nothing else to do. So in the same context, where even in the law, where it says you're not supposed to go out and do any work and gathering things from the field, laborers' work, but if the intention is to help out a brother or a sister for the necessities that they may need, then it's okay to do good on the Sabbath day for that purpose, but not for your own just vanity that you just want to go and do it just because you could put it off to another day. You should be able to say, Yahushua is giving them examples that this is okay to do on the Sabbath day.
Yep.
You read down to what, 1 to 8?
1 to 4.
Yeah, 1 to 4. Matthew 12, 1 to 4. Verse 2. Also, I read Exodus 28 to 9 and Numbers 15, 32 to 36. Yeah, for verse 2, I read Exodus 28 to 9, and I read also Numbers 15, verse 32 to 36.
Son,
And the last was Matthew 12, 1 to 4.
Numbers 15, what?
Numbers 15, verse 32 to 36.
Oh.
All right. Exodus 35, verse 3. It says, he shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day. That is kindling of fire. Understand that you're supposed to be cooking. There's no cooking or heating up any food on the Sabbath day. But you could, if, like back in the days, you make fire for warmth to keep yourself warm in the wintertime. But not to be cooking. Give the stove a rest, give the microwave a rest, giving kindling a fire. So you prepare our food, before the Sabbath. And so when the Sabbath comes, you have your food, you have your chicken or your beef or whatever stuff like you have. And you just have it during the Sabbath day. So because when you start to cook and you tend to surround yourself about cooking and heating up and it takes a lot of time from you. So there's no cooking or heating up anything on the Sabbath day. Verse 4.
Yeah, precept for verse 3.
Oh, verse 3.
As you just read. This is Exodus 16, verses 22 and 23.
Exodus 16.
So this is Exodus 16, chapter, verses 22 and 23. So this is when the Most High, based on circumstance here, was teaching Israel about preparation and how to observe and manage on the Sabbath day. So it says, and it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, this is that which the Lord has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahweh. Bake that which you will bake today, and seed which you will seed, and that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning. Right? So this was how Israel was to prepare on the 6th day for what they was going to eat or consume on the 7th day, which is the day of rest. So that's why you would not have to kindle a fire on the Sabbath day, because the Lord says to do twice as much preparation on the 6th day, so that you would have enough to lay over for the next day, or for the morning.
There's a lot of things you can just cook everything and just have it and give the stove a rest. Give yourself a rest too,
Right.
because cooking is a process, taking cooking and preparation of the food and everything else. Give yourself a rest, because it's the Sabbath day. It's holy. Because the Most High rested on the Sabbath day. When you read Genesis 2, verse.
can you repeat that scripture, please?
Yo, what I'm just saying right now?
The one to mark with.
Oh, that's Exodus 16, verse 22 to 23. And also, if you want, you can read, Genesis chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. I'll just read it quickly. Genesis chapter 2, verse 2. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work. Verse 3. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. Quiet.
And also, this was that's part of the reason why the Most High, when we read about usury, you find the fake Jews. They were so keen into the banking system because it's just to go against the Most High's, that shall work 6 days, and in the seventh day you shall rest. So the key is when they involve in the banking business, it's just like instead of working, let the money work. That means the money never stopped working. So just to go around, let everything stop. So that's why you see those fake Jews, they always find ways around, especially started in Somalia. The fake Jews in Somalia, they were heavily involved into the banking and money exchange business and usury. So instead of let everything rest, all right, we don't let everything rest, but the interest keep going regardless and never stop. So that means 6 days, 7 days, that doesn't even matter for the banking, the usury business.
Yeah, I know. One time, this is before the truth. I used to go to the synagogue, and I went there just to visit it, and they had people working there, serving on the Sabbath, and serving food, and I said somebody's working, and it was a Jew, that brother. It was there. They're working there. So it's like some synagogue in Trenton. So they,
black synagogue?
no, it's the Edomites. Jewish people. They're synagogue. Yeah, convert you. So they had there, and they had a Jew, that brother, that they're working, to serving the food and stuff. So it's like, yeah, they're not, they're not to work, but they're having somebody else do the work. So it's like, that's not fair.
Break the law right there, man.
They break the law every day. So even now in Israel, they have all the LGBT and the gay parade. They're having it over there. I think I saw something on the news this morning, and they say it goes against whatever they're doing. What?
That's why you see everywhere you go around, you always find those fake Jews. They heavily involved into the money exchange and the banking industry. All throughout the Babylonian Empire, the fake Jews, they were always the one heavily involved in the usury business and the banking, because they found a way around, the Most High's law to keep the money working regardless of it.
I mean, like, always have their money working, right? Always gathering interest and so on and so forth. There's this one website where I get a lot of my books. Like on the Sabbath day, they would shut down the website on the Sabbath day. So any other website, a lot of people there's like website going buying and selling every single day. You go to certain places, it's like you can't even tell any day from any other day. Constantly, commerce, constantly. Nothing is shut down. Nothing. So like on Sunday now, sometimes you find it like, well, man, stores closing. Closing earlier. Certain stores are closed, or you can't buy a car on Sunday, and all kind of stuff. They have like I think call it a blue law. It's just wicked.
So I'm glad you brought it up about the food. My brother used to work for the just Jewish company for Esau. They used to cook duck. Like, you're not supposed to eat duck. And they was having to work on the Sabbath. So my brother worked there for like 5 years. And they used to cater for the other Jewish churches and synagogues, but they was eating duck. And I said, Jews don't go to eat duck. Duck got wet feet. They was eating duck.
Yeah. These strangers. Exodus 35, verse 4. And Moses spake unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord commanded, saying, verse 5, Take ye from among you an offering unto the Lord. Whosoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it an offering of the Lord, gold and silver and brass.
Oh, selective. Outside of Genesis 2, 2 and 3, what was the other verse?
Exodus 16, 22, 23.
Okay, I thought you pulled second Genesis 2.
Genesis 2, 2 to 3.
I thought you didn't put two verses. You didn't pull two verses? I had this.
Oh, verse 2, Exodus 20 and 8. Numbers 15, 32, 36. Matthew 12, 1 to 4. Oh, okay.
Some reason I thought you put two verses.
Yeah.
Who's the over Exodus 20 and what?
8 and 9.
And what was before that?
Verse 1, James 1:22.
James? 1 and 2? 1 and 22.
Yeah. So, and 7. So they gather in here in an offering to the Most High. So I just want to read it for verse 5. Second Corinthians 9 and 7. 2 Corinthians 9 and 7. It says, Every man according as he purposed in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver. So that's for verse 5. So everybody's giving gold and silver and brass. Let me read 5 again. Take ye from among you an offering unto the Lord, Yahweh, whosoever is of a willing heart. God loveth a cheerful giver. Let him bring it an offering of the Lord, gold and silver and brass. Verse 6, and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair. Verse 7, and ram skin dyed red and badger skin and shittim wood. Verse 8, and oil for the light and spices for anointing oil and for the sweet incense. So a little rough, like we have oil here that we anoint ourselves here, like after the service, and also we have sweet incense. We have incense here. What is the incense that we have here again? What is it again? Frankincense. We have frankincense here for incense. Verse 9, and onyx stones and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate. So when you see the breastplate, it has the mix up the ephod and the breastplate. I have the 12 tribe of Israel on it, like a stone for each tribe. I don't think we know exactly what stone that each tribe is. So do we do?
They don't match them, but they listen.
Yeah, so that is as he some people try to put some stones there for each tribe, you know.
That's in the chapter 29. I mean, chapter 28.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't say this stone for this tribe, this stone for that tribe. It just says get these 12.
Verse 9, Exodus 28, right?
The link with 35 and 9. Exodus 28.
Exodus 28. So verse 9, for the breastplate and the ephod.
Exodus 28, verses 17 down to 21.
So for verse 9 is Exodus 28, 17 to 21.
Actually, you know what? 15 to 21 is the whole section.
Oh, 15.
I'll just read it real quick. 15 and 28 to 21.
So verse 9 is Exodus 28, 15 to 21.
Yeah. It says, "And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work. After the work of the ephod, thou shalt make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it. Foursquare it shall be, being doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set it in the settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row a ligure, and an agate, and an amethyst. And a fourth row a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings, and the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12, according to their names, like the engravings of the signet. Every one with his name shall they be according to the 12 tribes.
Yes, it doesn't say what tribe, what stone, and what tribe is just there. But just like on the most, as I showed thee.
That probably could be looked up, because it's different colors, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Right?
can imagine how pretty it was.
Yeah, they all different colors, right? I've seen it. They even got that in movies. Raiders of the Lost Ark Man will run his chest. The white guy. But they got to, anybody to look that up real deep.
That's the beginning.
Verse 10, Exodus 35, verse 10. And every wise-hearted among you shall come and make all that the Lord had commanded. The tabernacle, his tent, and his covering, his tashits. Yeah, you gonna mute your line, please? Yeah, *6, mute your line. I just want to go back to verse 10. It said, and every wise-hearted among you shall come and make all that the Lord had commanded. So it said wise-hearted. This is in Exodus 31, 1 to 5. Is the same gentleman that is skilled. Bezalel. When you read 31, 1 to 5, I just want to read it quickly. Exodus 31. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, see, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship, to devise cunning works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass, and in cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. So when you work in gold and silver, you have to be careful that you don't waste anything, you know, because it's precious metal and precious stones. And you have to heat each one of them with certain temperature and to work quickly and to cool them off. Because sometimes you see on YouTube they have the gold bars and they make them and then they pick them up with tongs and to cool them off in water and all of that stuff. So when you're working with, you know, gold and silver, you make it and you so it doesn't keep moving or something, and you just cool it off. And you're working with a lot of heat. So that's for verse 10. So write down Exodus 31, 1 to 5. Yeah, verse 10, Exodus 31, 1 to 5. You're going to see his name further on. And also in chapter 36. So I just want to make a reference to that. So remember, back in the days, maybe some schools that still have certain shops that you can work with certain metals and stamping and all of that. It's a good skill to have. So if you have these skills to work it, and you here is like you have to get a certificate or you go into an apprenticeship with someone who's able to who has this knowledge to kind of teach you, so you can get a certificate and you can use that. Okay, Nabia.
Yeah, the schools here in Philly say that for the kids in the inner city, but over the years they phased those programs out. A lot of the high schools.
Who was that?
Wood shop, metal shop, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Try to lock down your blue collar.
Oh.
Try to lock down your music. Great. And the weirdest thing I see too oftentimes, like I used to work back and forth in peer pressure. We're just going around, Southeast PA in general. You see like a construction site, and you see, you saw the ones like hammer away and stuff. And they usually got Israel that's kind of construction stuff on. They usually got the sound. They're doing this.
Or straight up laborers. While I was working in the school district, they were building this little schoolhouse. And you never really notice it until you actually stand there and look. And I seen the brother with the wheelbarrow full of bricks. And he would come up the incline with the wheelbarrow full of bricks and sit it there. And then the wife over there taking a brick off, putting cement on it, and just building the wall. You know what I mean? And all the brother did was take the wheelbarrow full of bricks up the hill and just sit it there. And you notice, first you think they was all in unity. Man, he just a damn laborer. You know what I mean? He's making money, but he ain't making the money that the bricklayer making. You know what I mean?
No, he's not. Even if y'all getting paid comparably, who's one of those skilled workers?
Right.
Usually,
Yeah, so they pay like Jake like minimum wage and pay Esau like $20-$30 an hour,
He was making more than minimum wage, but it's just that he's just a laborer. He don't have no skill. Anybody could be a laborer.
Yeah. So they cannot have that separation and all these certificates, I remember one time, I read something in Philly. There's these construction. They were Judah, but they were saying they weren't getting these contracts that these other guys are getting, and they know the skills and they're able to do the same work because they weren't giving them these contracts.
Right. That's all over.
Yeah.
For the L, when they rebuilt the L stream, it was all white boys down there. They had to go down there and stand out there and march with them. They didn't want the brothers that had no signed in.
No, Sama?
Right, self-preservation, right? So it's like you seen the white boy that was on that interview. I don't know if it was Roman Martin or one of them, where he was speaking about, the white male is now becoming, they're becoming the minority. So they became a little bit afraid of losing their edge, right? They're afraid of losing the dominant edge that they always had, right? So from their perspective, it's like, you know what? You're damn right. I'm going to make sure that I keep all the best jobs. I give you guys all the labor's job. If you do get a job, you're going to get, you know, the crumbs, like you read about it in Luke 16. You just get the crumbs. But we are now aware that we got to preserve our position. And our position means that we need to be in the top positions, dictating and controlling everything that goes on. So from their perspective, got to totally understand why they're doing what they're doing. Because they can see that they're losing their footing. They see that they're losing their grip. And now we are becoming more to the forefront and exposing certain things they're doing. So it's like, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to be the one that gets all the credit. I'm going to be the one that's going to be the face, the person in the forefront, right? That's like I read last week. They said the Jack Daniels whiskey.
Yeah.
We did that. A brother did that.
A brother did
showed
that?
him how to make it, and they just gave him the credit. It was on CNN. I read. I was like, wow. It's like, yeah, Jack Daniels. That's so popular. A brother taught that dude, or whoever the guy was, whiskey, how to blend and make that whiskey. But who got all credit? He did multi-billion-dollar all over the world liquor, right?
And
now that brother and his family, okay, now they put it up, he gets the recognition, but he ain't getting paid. There's no payoff coming and say, hey, you know what, we're going to give you, a retroactive fee that we should have been giving. Yeah, some royalties. No, that's not happening. It's like, all right, so this is good. Like, you know, you listen to the kid, thank you for your service.
You might give him a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
Something he created.
Yeah.
Because even sometimes too, you're working for a company, right? And you invent something or you make something, it becomes the product of the company.
Right.
And they wanted to get that and move it to another department. So it becomes the product of the company. You invented it, and even back in the day with slavery too, when they invented certain things, it's like slaves can't have patents.
Right.
They can't have ownership on all these things. Certain things that blacks made back in the days, and it's like they get credit for it. They've been working and try to do it. Black man invented it, no credit because slaves can't get credit, can't patent things, certain things like that. So they become part. Even a lot of Israelite working this company and inventing this medicine and all these things, it becomes property of the company. And say that's part of your job you're doing. You're getting all this research and you sign it off, and it becomes the company's. And then after you get that, they move it to another department or another project, and you're like, wow. Even now, like with certain software, I'm quite sure this big software, Microsoft and whatever this company, Jake go now and develop certain software and becomes it becomes part of the company, and then move it to another department or another project.
Right. So that's the business model across the board, that operational company. Any work that you do under the umbrella of that company is property of the company, right? You can't say, oh, I developed, I did this thing, which you have done with your own intellect, but it's property of the company, right? You can't say, I'm going to take it and go and do it somewhere else, or you're going to be liable to be sued or fined in certain cases.
I remember I used to work for a bank, and sometimes Esau would come with all these clients that he has, and it says, okay, I'm bringing this business to the company, and these are my clients. And they would say, okay, I'm going to represent these people because these people are my clients, and they come and work for the company. And sometimes they would work for X amount of time, and then they would just take their client because that's their clients,
right?
Things like that. Yeah, but Esau trying to control that too.
Yeah, they'll use that as leverage to get more stake in the company or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
the company itself. That's more revenue coming in. So they'll say, okay, all right, you got about, the company itself has about 30 clients, but you're coming into the company with 15, and those are good, reputable paying clients that you have. That's going to bring more money in for me. So I'll make you a senior VP or something like that. And they're like, nah, I want to be partner. So they'll use that as leverage because and they might not, they're not going to say no. Most of the time they're going to say no because you just take your client somewhere else and they're going to give you that. So that's what they'll do in cases like that where you have the respect of the clients and they'll go with you wherever you go.
And sometimes you just get it and have your own company.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say, Jake falls victim to not having the know-how to go about doing it because we're not groomed from adolescence. We're not groomed in our schools and as kids growing up to be conscious of, say, you know what, being business-minded. Right? We're talking about right now, they took trades out of schools. So what did they replace it with? Nothing. Right? They didn't replace these different outlets for kids to go and try to find some kind of work. Yeah, home economics. They took it away. So now it's like, what are you left with? So now you have to have the few that have the drive to go out there and learn it as opposed to this just being the basis of the fundamentals of your upbringing, like how the other nations may have it in their school systems or in their culture is taught. We kind of don't have that.
Because a lot of people.
What's that?
You gotta go to class. What's the classes for? Like truck driving, welding, and all that. They have it. You just have to pay for it.
I understand. That's what we're saying. Before they had it as a part of school.
School back in 60s. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
And a whole bunch of other people on TV, they show it too.
Yeah.
Shopping school. And none of that. It started flashing right here. Not in Williamsville.
Yeah.
It was gone.
Because a lot of people just graduate from high school and they don't go anywhere else.
That's it.
They're just like, I want to go into the workforce.
And you got postgraduate from college, same thing.
Yep, exactly.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they showed a study on that about a month or two ago, as far as for because of the changing in technology and how people do work now. Everything is digital, it's online. You don't have to have stores and malls. You know, back in the day, as you came home from school, you go work in the mall or the store, you know, some kind of retail thing. Do that for the summer, all right, cool, go back. Now you don't have as much of that because retail is now shifted to being online. So so now the kids that's now coming from school got to go and try to fight for the regular day-to-day jobs that people who are not in school take, right? So like, you know, you're a 40-year-old person who doesn't have a college degree working in, you know, an AT&T, right, as a rep, and he's been there for a long period of time. They're like, you know what, we're not going to give him benefits and everything because we got these college kids coming in for like 2-3 months, and we can get them.
Yeah.
They're going to come home on winter break.
Even to see them at job, they have these interns that's coming. They just come in droves, man.
Right.
It's like 1 or 2 Jake you see there, but they come in Edomites, whites just coming in droves and get them and they show them all these stuff so they can use it on their resumes, you know, skills that they did this, you know,
and the
in their field.
And a good portion of the time that's free, just free labor.
Free labor?
Because not every internship pays. You know, certain internships is just, you know, hours that you bank just for experience.
But they work for a while though.
Yeah.
Something like for the summer.
Yeah.
And it's all free, yeah.
Parents take care of that.
Yeah.
They want to show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on your resume.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay.
And the school gives them a paper, they gotta fill it out and bring it back to the school and the school gives them credit. But they work for, they work for credit. They work for the experience. You didn't have experience. And the company is an upstart, for example, they may not have the money to pay you or they have extra work.
And it's in you.
At the end of the day, you get the credits, they get the fee work.
And then you hope that maybe that, you know, you form a bond with somebody in a company that they say, all right, you know, we'll hire you on after you graduate.
Yeah. That's it. What the brothers are saying. It's more of a connection. That's the value of that kind of thing.
Because
you make when you're doing that. Yeah. And then secondarily, it's the experience.
Yeah, we see you face to face, so there's no interview process. We know that you did the work. You didn't work under me and blah blah blah. I say, come on board.
Right. And not to draw too much, but that's what we don't have. Because we know Esau does not predominantly select us on an average basis as far as for doing those internships, unless our people who have these businesses, these companies, are being the ones that's going to go and try to diversify and say, okay, we'll bring in a good portion of our brothers, especially those from the community who don't even have that opportunity. You got to know that certain people are not going to have that opportunity, and you give them an opportunity to say, you know what, you got certain skills that you learn on the streets that can carry over to corporate world. A lot of the jake that we have that's in businesses and they came from the streets. Yeah. They just took that hustle mentality and said, you know what, it's the same thing over here. I'm gonna go and learn Esau's game and hustle my way, and that's what they did. And the majority of good, multi-millionaires, billionaires, these ain't guys with college degrees. These guys don't have PhDs. These guys are just hustlers who understood how to get and manipulate the system to profit for them.
Yeah, because I remember one time I read something, they were talking about some rapper. I said, like, they haven't heard from me in a while. He didn't do anything music-wise or whatever. So what is he doing now? He has a company. It's like, wow. He has a little company doing this and doing that, and it's like, wow, interesting. Yeah, yeah, and he's doing his thing. He's like, yeah, he made a song or two or whatever, and he's making some money. Let me just not just waste it. Let me use that, get some little companies, keep that money flowing, Right.
So that's what we're reading here. What the Most High indirectly was teaching Israel, teaching us back then, was invested in ourselves. Because all this was free will, right? This was, hey, I'm going to donate, I'm going to provide gold, silver, brass, linen, silk, time, wisdom, whatever it is, to invest in ourselves so that we as a nation can be more productive moving forward, right? That would be something that would be reciprocated by the Most High for us as a people to say, hey, this is yours. You invest in your own stuff and it can become profitable. But that has been taken away from us so that we invest in others stuff. Like we mentally don't like to go to ourselves to invest in ourselves, and then those of our people so wicked, so messed up in the mind, we mistreat each other. It's like you go to your brother and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna look my brother out, but your brother one's gonna rob from you. It's like, yo, why you going? I'm your brother. Like, you gonna rob from me? Don't rob from me, right? I'm not telling you to go rob me. So, but damn it, you gonna rob him? Don't rob me. Don't do me wrong. Like, I'm trying to help build us up, but that mentality is taken away where we don't trust each other to even do it.
I remember one second. I remember when this brother was giving this lecture to some high school students, and he was like, they were disrupting me, and he was saying, look, I'm doing this for free. I get $50,000 to $100,000 to make a speech for these company, and it's like, I'm doing this for free. I'm not getting so-called pay for it and things like that. But Esau make the stuff and then put it in. You have to pay all this money to go to all this schools and all this stuff to get the certificate, and then you go out in the workforce. For what?
Right. I'm always a big advocate about, not always looking on Esau for everything. Like the scripture says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You can start a company. You don't even need money to hire a bunch of people. You use income. You get your everything that you need done. You get the interns to do. They get the credit, and then you get the intellectual knowledge that they have, and you put them in different places. You tell them what you need done, and they come in and work for free, and then you give them the credit. But if you look and you say, I don't have money to start anything, that means you already defeat yourself, and you're not learning the knowledge that's out there to benefit, just like Esau benefit. So a lot of them, that's what they use. When somebody say, I started my business with $1,000, that's pretty much what the concept that they use.
Yeah, that's what one of my brother's partners in his company that he has, they do filming. And
Filming?
My brother goes to different schools and does lectures and things, but he also gets interns to be the ones to operate the equipment. So when he needs to go on a shoot, he's teaching them machines, and then they're the ones who are doing it as he's filming. They're learning the craft. So for him, it's like a 50-50 because he's now got workers who you don't have to pay. They're getting credits, and for them, they're getting the credits for film and getting the experience. So that it was a win-win for both of them.
Yeah,
and they work because they want you to give them a good reference, and they want the credit.
So they can get a job.
Yeah, work with your hands. That just being idle. Because sometimes, a lot of times, certain places you would go and say, Jake, just idle all day, nothing, not doing anything, and nothing is happening. And you just get into a whole bunch of trouble. So the Most High gave this brother all the, this knowledge, and he had this knowledge to work with all these things, and not to just like waste up, but to be careful, working with these and skins and things like that. Skin, you have to tan it and all of that process. You have to do it, so to preserve it.
Right. It's what's interesting is when we read in Corinthians about different gifts coming all from the same spirit. Like what we read in this chapter is different people who the Most High gave different talents and gifts to be able to do spiritual and profitable things with. Right?
Mhm.
Like they have a role. Like the body, every part of the body has a role or a part to play. Like what the gift that was given to him is for him. Like that's what the Lord gave to him for him to exercise within the nation and go say be profitable. What he may give to Zakar, that's Zakar's gift that he now is going to be look towards to exercise that. Right? The Lord said, go to that brother right there. That brother knows what needs to be done. Go to him for different things. These sisters, they know how to do such and such. Go to her. Or go to them. Let them be the ones who then become the ones who now is everybody else on how to do this, and then it just trickles down. We don't have that pretty much anymore, where we're teaching each other how to develop the skill sets that we need to do. I remember, I don't know if I mentioned it before, there was a brother who did a thing on World Star where he touched on us as a community. We don't have the right resources and things that we have. But for those brothers and sisters who get out and make it, why do you not have some kind of form of means to teach us in the community how to do it? And the easiest way the brother came out, the easiest way that you can do it, where you can touch and reach everybody else, is just throw up a podcast or a live stream and teach for like a half hour or an hour.
Yeah.
Like, podcast is free. Like, I mean, it's not free, but it's it's easy now. Right? It's like, once you just do a podcast for a half hour or an hour, or do a live stream. Everybody got their different live streams. They go on there and they talk nonsense. They ride in their cars and they just talking about the nonsense. Like, well, you can do a live stream of information. Like, that way it can help us. And people respect you for whatever art or craft you have, but you can tell us the business model. You can give us the grassroots of what we need to do to change our minds. But we don't have that. Esau has that already in their school system. That's in there. That's embedded in their DNA. Not only Esau, Elam, Moab, all of them had that in their upbringing. Right? That's not our curse was not their curse. Right? So we are now ones who are crawling to get back up.
Yeah.
Out of the sewers, out of everything else, so we can see clearly.
Fighting for the crumbs,
Yeah. One last thing I want to say is like, and if you're looking at the other nations, how they already up there, you never go out and do anything. If you're looking at Esau, he's already up there, and I'm gonna compete with them. I might just go get a job, because if I go into business, they're gonna crush me. If you think like that, you're always gonna depend on Esau for anything, job or what have you. The mindset should be, I created in the likeness of the Most High. So you got to be more so creative than thinking in terms of competition and what. Right? You got to think creatively how regardless of anything that's out there, right? The resources that the Most High has established for you is no better. Even if it seems like everybody already, this market is saturated, what yours is going to be yours regardless. And let alone you are the children of the Most High.
Yeah.
Right? So if you become creative and use it the right way, you can accomplish anything.
Yeah, because I know a lot of times, people's like, oh, graduate college, boom, work for a company, X amount of years, boom, you're out. It's like, I gotta try to do this again until I retire, get my Social Security, pension, and I'm good, But, Nabia,
Kind of read these two scriptures.
Verse.
Blessing and the curse, and we're talking about Deuteronomy 28. First, I read the curse, because we know, but then I read the blessing. far as where we can go to, even right now. Deuteronomy 28.
It's just
In verse 43. Then I'll read 12 and 13. This is Deuteronomy 28, 43 and 44. It says, Deuteronomy 28, 43, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Verse 44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. And he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. That's if we don't keep the commandments. But if we keep the commandments, verse 12, Deuteronomy 28 and 12. Yahweh shall open unto thee a good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto thy land in his season, so stuff grows, and bless all the work of thine hand, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. Verse 13, and Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail. Thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of Yahweh thy power, which I command you this day, to observe and to do them.
as a nation.
This has a little bit of what we was talking about the stranger being ahead of us.
Oh, Salaki. Not necessarily that. This person individual level too.
Oh,
Also,
Look at people in captivity. Look at Daniel. Look at Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. Look at Esther, Mordecai.
how they was treated above everybody there.
What's up? Will raise us up as individuals too.
Right. Well, that's what he's doing with us.
Look at this.
Right here, we're above.
what? You can borrow what you said?
What I was saying, it was on Channel 6 News today. This the slave house that they just found out is a big mansion over there in Jersey, right there on Riverside. And it was part of the Underground Railroad. And they give them tours now that you can go in there and see how they hit the slaves in the basement and all that stuff. I think it's a plantation too. And then it came out at the end of the episode and said that the dude who owned the house was Chloe, his last name was Clothier. And then it rang a bell. Strawberry Clothier, that big department store.
John 1.
John Wyman. Did they say he had a plantation too? He probably did.
All of
That's how he got all big, but had no clothes, right? Where at Jersey? I don't know if they said Trent. I gotta look at it. Look it up on the computer. Yeah, you look it up.
America is a big plantation.
That's all it was. That's what
But
it was.
that those
I might go over there and check it out. You know what I mean? Go check that big mansion, the plantation. That's what it was. He was going through the basement to show you where they had the slaves at and stuff. He probably had his own slaves operating, making them rich, and at the same time, he was helping the other ones that were running from the south too. You know what I mean?
so it's like now, like I sent to the chat earlier. It's like slavery and segregation and then mass incarceration, you know? They have them in there working. They're in there working, making products and all that stuff.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Workers are always there.
Back in the day, we couldn't own our inventions. Now we ain't got the money to own our inventions. Either way, we still can't own our inventions. You know what I mean?
Like what Jay-Z said, light nigga, dog nigga, still nigga. Still nigga, right? Still nigga, right? But we got to wake up from all of that and try to come to this truth. Navia?
Testimonial flashbacks when I was at Hampton, Virginia, down there, and working with Dr. Lyons, he was in the physics department. He's talking about the different things that he went up. He had a couple of patents for things he developed.
Brother?
Things like this, crap to deal with the patent office, they were like loose paperwork, loses his ID, he's like going back to resubmit it. So it's like he's still doing what he has to do, he's still getting the patents, but it's like the ability to do it, but without the Most High
leaders behind, so we all tap into this. And most of you can try to put that all over.
All right, let's go back to
Verse 11.
verse 11. Exodus 35, verse 11. The tabernacle, his tent, his covering, his taches, and his boards, his bars, his pillows, and his sockets. Verse 12. The ark and the staves thereof with the mercy seat and the veil of the covering. 13. The table and his staves and all his vessels and the showbread. 14. The candlestick also for the light and his furniture and his lamps with the oil for the light. And the incense, I think about the oil for the light, and for the candlesticks. I think isn't it? I think it might be hollow, right? They could put oil in there and then it could burn.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know.
That last hookup by Nakia, I really didn't hear it that good.
What, Nabia?
Yeah, he said the link up.
He was reading Deuteronomy 28, 43, 44, and 12 to 13.
Deuteronomy 43.
No. Deuteronomy 28, 43 to 44, and Deuteronomy 28, 13, 12 and 13.
Okay.
All right.
12,
Verse 5. We're just talking about general in skills. That's a discussion about the blessings and the curses and stuff.
Oh yeah, they will. Bible, oh, that's what it's at.
That's the best thing in our like
I didn't know.
build up the nation like Azalea.
Yeah. Verse 15. And the incense altar and his staves and the anointing oil and the sweet incense and the hanging for the door at the entering in of the tabernacle, the altar of burnt offering with his brazen and his foot. This is great. His and all his vessels, the laver and basin, the washing basin in Exodus 30, 18, and 21. That's what I see. The laver, the large basin. This is Exodus 30, 18 to 21 for verse 16. For verse 16, I'm making reference to the lava and his foot, the big basins with water, so they have to wash their hands. So the Most I said they die not.
Right, so who's the precept?
For verse 16,
Yeah.
that's the Exodus 30, verse 18 to 21.
Through 21 or just 18 and 20?
Oh, 18 through 22 to 21. Verse 17, his pillars and their sockets and the hanging for the door of the court of the tabernacle and the pins of the court and their cords. Verse 19, the cloth of service to do service in the holy place. Certain, I'm thinking about even certain covering we try to cloth, the holy garments for beside the table, and they have some kind of that. Had to be hand stitched, embroideries, and it's Aaron's garment. Where's it at again? Verse 19. Aaron garment. Navia? I forgot it.
I think it's Exodus 28 as well. In the same chapter.
Oh,
Because I just read the part about the breastplate, but the other parts of that chapter.
oh, okay.
Going to the other parts of the garment.
The clothes of service to do service in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron, the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office. Verse 20, and all the congregation of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses.
Oh, I got a comment.
For verse 20?
I mean, it's really for the whole thing. But, it's kind of like when I think we've all had experience where we get work done on our car.
Oh,
Usually three things, right? You get
Wow.
work done on the car, get diagnostic, right? Parts labor. So you're going to figure out what's wrong with it. You get the parts you need, and then get those parts and do whatever you need to do to fix the issue. So
Labor.
with this here, it's interesting because it's almost like the same thing. Like we have the issue, which is we need a place to worship the Most High. So now we're gathering the raw material together, right?
Mhm.
These are things that we need. And then, as we're going to read on the Exodus, they're going to take those things and then put them together and build the tabernacle, all the parts of it. So when I read the scripture, they do this too, in Proverbs. Proverbs 24 and 27. Proverbs 24 and 27, it says, prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. So you want to have all the raw materials first, right? First you have the vision, the blueprint. Okay, here's what I want to do. Here's why, because it's going to house food, it's going to be somewhere where I live, or whatever you want to build the house for. Then you have to gather all the materials you need to make it, and then you take those materials and build it with people who have skills, if not yourself.
So you don't run into problems like, oh, I run out of money, I run out of material, and I can't build it. Sometimes you see certain houses unfinished. It's like they ran out of money.
That's in Luke 14 and 28.
So it's
It's actually pointing to this scripture here
14:28.
of Luke.
Thank you.
Luke 14 and 28, which says, Luke chapter 14, verse 28, for which of you intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and count the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it, after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. You got to count the cost, right? Time-wise, resource-wise. That's Luke 14, 28 to 30.
right. Even when you're gonna do like a job for somebody, you're a contract, and it's like somebody hired you to do something. It's, look, I just have this amount of money. You know, you got to give like an estimate. Sometimes they're willing to give you a little bit more to make it. You know, it's like, this is all I have. This is, you know, so you give an estimate between such and such. Otherwise, you have to sometimes have to go back and it's like, I need more money. It's like, I don't have any more money to give. You know, so it's kind of embarrassing. You know, you just have it half finished. Build and stop building. You know, cease. It's just like a waste of time and labor and material. You know, you couldn't get to finish the project. Verse 20, Exodus 35, verse 20.
21, but go ahead. I'm with you.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead. Read 20, get back.
Verse 21. And they came, everyone whose heart stirred him up, and everyone whom his spirit made willingly, and they brought the Lord's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, and for all his service, and for all the holy garments. And they both came, and they came, both men and women, as many as were willing hearted, and brought bracelets and earrings and rings and tablets, all jewels of gold, and every man that offered an offering of gold unto the Lord. Verse 23. And every man with whom was found blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and red skins of rams and badger skin brought them. So this is, bringing all that stuff for the temple and the work of the temple. Yeah, I was even thinking about even Acts 4:37. So when we get together for a purpose, to do something, so the Acts 4:37, having land, sold it, and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet. So they became a need. Where should I start? When they had in Acts chapter 4, yeah, verse 32, and the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul, neither said any of them that all things common, or of the things that was his own, but they had all, and with great the apostles witness of the resurrection of the Lord Jesus Christ, and the great grace and was upon them all. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of land, of houses, sold them, and brought the prices of the thing that were sold, and laid them down at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made unto every man according as he had need. So they had a need here that people sold and brought everything together. We in one accord trying to help each other here. So here they were giving offering and gold and silver and earrings and rings, and every man with whom was found blue and purple. So verse 22.
So Acts 4,
So let me try to get
Which you just read in
4.
4:31, 37.
Acts chapter 4 verse 32. Yeah, just put 32 to 37.
that links with 35 and
I was just for verse 22. So verse 22, Acts 4, verses 32 to 37. So we had a need back then, and we got together in one accord and sold things and put it at the apostles' feet, so that nobody lacked anything. But here with the Most High, with the temple and all his furnitures and everything, that people were giving things towards building up the temple and its furniture and et cetera, et cetera. and go to verse 23. Navia?
Kind of just add this with the Proverbs and the Luke one that I read earlier.
Go for verse 22.
For 20,
Doesn't really link up. I don't know the link to the verse.
it was 20 verse
Kind of links
20.
with the whole thing.
Uh,
This is First Chronicles 22,
Oh,
verse
first.
1 to 5.
Verse 1, chapter 1.
First Chronicles chapter 22, verse 1 to 5. You put that with Proverbs 24:27 and Luke 14:28. This might have been possibly why Solomon even wrote this proverb. It says in First Chronicles 22 and 1, it says, and David said, this is the house of Yahweh power, and this is the altar of the burnt offering for Israel. And David commanded to gather together the strangers that were in the land of Israel, and he set masons to hew wrought stones to build the house of God. And David prepared iron in abundance for the nails, for the doors of the gates, and for the joinings, and brass in abundance without weight. Also cedar trees in abundance, for the Zidonians, and they of Tyre brought much cedar wood to David. And David said, Solomon, my son, is young and tender, and the house that is to be builded for Yahweh must be exceeding magnificent, of fame and of glory throughout all countries. I will therefore now make preparation for it. So David prepared abundantly before his death.
One to 5.
Let's go with Luke and Proverbs.
Verse 23. And every man with whom was found blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat hair and red skins of rams and badger skins brought him. Also making everything with goat hair. I remember one time back, I saw they were selling, goat skin. Sometimes they sell certain jackets that have, goat skin, or certain shoes and stuff like that, Sometimes people may look at it, but it's a skin. It's a clean animal that you can wear, because you eat the goat, and you can wear the skins also.
I was going to ask that question. So it's okay to wear certain skins of animals that's clean?
That you eat, yes.
And the leather come from what animal, if you don't mind me asking? Like
What?
leather pants, leather jackets?
Yeah, it
what
come from
animal
the
they come from?
cow. But like they have a certain football back in the days. They had like pig skin.
Pig skin, right.
So it's
What they
like
using now?
pig skin. It's like
They still using pig skin.
you
They
still?
ain't using no leather. You ain't supposed to use that. We
Yeah.
supposed to touch it.
Yeah, it's
My grandma
unclean.
told me that you playing football all your life, like the baseball, the basketball.
Yeah.
Well, they got rubber basketball came out, but that was pork back then, Mike. Touchdown.
Yeah, they have a
Yeah, that's why I asked that question.
they have a thing on the stock market. They have a thing on the stock market. They like to talk. Is it? That's like pork bellies. I'm saying, are they really dealing with pork bellies?
Yes.
So I know that if you go to certain on the website, you find out all these products have pork in it.
That's how they make potties.
Yeah.
So it's like well, they use all these pork products in certain things, and one of the like a candy with Altoids. I had it for a while and I liked it because it was a strong taste. The Altoids. Then I look on the back of it, it's like gelatin, and I called the company. I said, "Yeah, pork." I was like, "Oh snap!" And I think some of these jelly beans, right? The jelly beans, some of them have, and some of these gummy bears, they have gelatin in them. So it's like Esau's like, we have all these pigs, we gotta utilize it. They don't want to eat. Some people don't want to eat the other white meat, but we're gonna put in there all these products that they probably won't even know. They probably enjoy them gummy bears and all that stuff.
they doing that because they know that's a curse for us, and they don't want to get close to the Most High. So they sneak that stuff into our food.
Yeah, Nabia?
Kind of like you guys ever seen Trading Places? Wasn't that one of the things that Warren
There you
Randolph
go.
was trading? The pork bellies?
Pork bellies?
$1.
And then remember the part when he was talking to Eddie Murphy? And he said, yes, using bacon, as in a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. He looked at the camera like, that's always back
Yeah,
Pork bellies.
pork belly, that's a big stock.
That is gross, man.
Pork belly. Is that really pork belly? Yes, that's a real stock.
Yeah, I
Pork
hear.
belly,
I
they sell a
see.
lot of pork. Everything, now they put it on hamburgers.
They gotta make
Burger King.
pork wine, pork skin.
Pork.
But it's in a lot of products, though. I heard it.
What is pork belly? Is that the chitlins or
Like
something?
somebody eat them how? That's pork belly.
Mm.
Yes.
So we
Good question,
eat pork
right?
noodles for
But-
25 cents a bag, and obviously
Yeah, but they take a lot of the products and put it in certain yogurts that have gelatin in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they try to say certain one of them with kosher gelatin, as if the rabbi does say, Rabbi, and was okay, it's clean, it's good. Yeah. Who's Gabar? You want to say something? You want to say something? Okay, Samat, then Pakwa.
Yeah, some of the gelatin they count.
Right, that's what I was about to say. You have to, you gotta check it out. You gotta call, because with medicine, you have certain medicines like pills, that'll say gelatin on it.
Yeah.
And it's something that maybe you prescribe or a supplement that you want to take. But you'll call and you have to find out and ask them what type of meat is in the gel, or if it's vegetarian gelatin or if it's meat gelatin. And I know I called before and they said it's beef. It's not pork, it's beef. Sometimes they say it's a mix. It's a beef and pork, or sometimes they say it's not. It's a vegetarian gelatin or something.
Yeah, we just.
That was one of the things that I was thinking. But yeah, the other thing is that one.
Yeah, sometimes people who are vegans, they kind of want to know what kind of base, certain capsule that people would get, because you can get the capsule by itself to put certain things in it, put certain vitamins or whatever, so you can swallow it. So they're trying to get certain capsule, but sometimes they don't know where they get it from. They get it from a source. They get the gelatin in this big old container, and they buy it and sell it to them, and they just use it. Sometimes they don't know. They don't, whatever. Why are you so concerned about it? Yeah, for
You're
what?
supposed to be concerned about it.
Yeah. All right. You finished right, for what? Okay, good. So I was thinking about the badger skin here. Is it like badger?
That's what they have, crawling around.
Okay. The badger skin. Verse 24. Everyone that did offer an offering of silver and brass and brought it the Lord's offering, and every man with whom was found shittim wood for any work of the service brought it. So different woods carry different things, how to work with different woods and things like that. Oak and thing like that. You have to be careful. You utilize it, make sure you utilize it properly, and certain tools. Because you have to cut down the tree and cut it a certain way, and things like that. Verse 25. And all the women that were wise-hearted did spin with their hands. And like the spindle, I was thinking of the spindle, how they make garments and they bring it off from like that. I think they have like the sheep. They would have the sheep and get the wool and do it then to a spindle so it can make like cloth and thread and things like that. That'd be interesting to learn that, to see how it works. I think probably you can go to YouTube and find it. And brought that which had spun both of blue and of purple and of scarlet and of fine linen. Verse 26. And all the women whose heart stirred them up in wisdom spun goat's hair. Verse 27. And the rulers brought onyx stones So these are the dark stone, the black ones, right? The black stones, and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate. Sometimes I have like even for one of my stone, my little plastic stone fell out of this ring, and I just had to just get some semi-precious stone and get like jewelry glue to put in it, so it stays. So even sometime with a diamond or so on a diamond ring, they have it a certain way that it set, that it's kind of like floating, but these like prongs to hold the diamond in place. Not necessarily to have any kind of glue, but just to hold it in place with metal. Verse 28, and spice and oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. Verse 29, the children of Israel brought a willing offering unto the Lord, every man and woman whose heart made them willingly to bring for all manner of work which the Lord had commanded to be made by the hand of Moses. So they willingly offered all of these things. So even when you read even Acts chapter 5, a certain things, some people willingly and they kind of like pull back certain things, they got in trouble for that. They end up dying for it, in Acts chapter 5 when you read it. But I just want to read it quickly. Acts chapter 5, verse 1. But a certain man named Ananias and Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession and kept back part of the price. His wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. So they kept back some of it. They say, it's like as if the apostle wasn't gonna know, It's like, yeah, a little privy, let's try to sell it and keep back some of it and say you're giving everything. And they found, the apostles, the Most High gave the apostles knowledge to find out these things, Verse 5, Acts 5 and 3. But Peter said, Ananias, why had Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Ghost and to keep back part of the price of the land while it remained? Was it not thine own? And after it was sold, was it not in thine own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thine heart? Thou hast not lied unto men, but unto God. So show that certain people we hear that they kept back part, and it's like, I'm not gonna and just lie, and they end up dying, fell down dead. But we gave here all. Verse 29. The children of Israel brought a willing. Okay. Just to keep on going and tell the story. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost, and great fear came upon all them that heard these things. So, like, wow, the apostles found this out, and the young man, and the young man arose, wound him up, and carried him out and buried him. And it was about the space of 3 hours after, when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in, and Peter answered unto her, Tell me whether ye sold the land for so much. And she said, Yea, for so much. Then Peter said unto her, How is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord? Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door, and shall carry thee out. Then fell she down straightway at his feet. She just fell on, bloop, right at his feet, and yielded up the ghost. And the young man came in and found her dead, and carried her forth and buried her by her husband. So, like, wow. So if you feel so, there's like She just fell dead right there at his feet.
So nice. Y'all see that one?
Yeah. So verse 29, the children of Israel brought a willing offering unto the Lord, every man and woman whose heart made them willing to bring for all manner of works which the Lord had commanded to be made by the hand of Moses. I said by the hand of Moses. Moses getting instruction and tell these brothers and sisters to do these, to do it a certain way because the Most High wants it done. Verse 30, and Moses said unto the children of Israel, see, the Lord had called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, Yahweh. So it's very knowledgeable. And he had filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship. I shall praise Judah, right? Go ahead. Like the movie, right? Ben-Hur. All manner of workmanship. So when you have all these skills and the Most High give you and make to work with it, so you don't waste a lot of things making something, you know. Certain temperature, gold, silver, woodwork, all these things. You can imagine how it looked afterwards. Like, wow, great. And to devise curious works. So curious works are making certain the table and the furnitures and making little patterns on it too. And in silver and in brass. And in the cutting of stones. So cutting stones, you have to be so careful you don't ruin the stone. You know, have to cut it maybe different facets. You know, cutting diamonds and rubies and all that stuff. And have a certain facets and shine. So you can see when you look at certain diamonds and certain stones, you're not just, you know, paying for the stone, you're paying for the workmanship that's done to the stone. And people look at it and they say, all these facets in the diamonds and the stones, you see that work has been done to it, you know, and polishing. And to set them, and in carving of wood, to make all, to make any manner of cunning work. So you can see how you're cutting with the plane, using the plane and making the wood, you know, smooth, and sanding, rough sanding, light sanding, and varnishing to make it look really nice. And even using chisel to make certain things, you know, pattern, you like in the workshop, make certain cutting in the wood with certain patterns. You have to be, you know, skilled to do that. And verse 34, and he had put in his heart that he may teach both he and Aholiab, the son of Ahisabach of the tribe of Dan. Mach. Ahisabach. Sorry about that. Mach of the tribe of Dan. Verse 35. Then them had he filled with wisdom of heart to work all manner of work of the engraver. So when you engraving, like you engraving stone, regular stone and precious stone and wood, you have to be so careful. Sometimes, you know, people do certain things. So how you want like a name to be on it, and you have to have good skill in your hands to do it because you only have one chance to do it, you know. Yeah, you're like, oh, I have him engrave something on the stone. It's like, that's not how it's spelled. So it's like you have to like go back and polish it down, cut it on and polish it down and engrave it again, you know. and of the cunning works, and of the embroiderer. So
What embroidery?
embroider now, like patterns on like a garments. Right now, they have it some certain sewing machine. Like I have an embroidery machine, and they will put the chip or whatever or the disc in it, and it just does it like that, and it does it, spell out a certain name or certain pattern, and you just watch it doing everything. But now, well, you can't really draw it out. This is by hand, so you could draw out the pattern and figure, okay, I'm gonna use blue over here, orange over here, and make it a certain way. So it's a certain way to do it, and stitch and cut the thread. I use another needle for a different color thread and do it by hand instead of the machine. But you could do both. But an embroider, you have to be really skilled to do it. In blue and in purple, in scarlet and in fine linen, and of the weaver. So when you weave in, sometimes I see, when they weave in carpet and stuff like that, they have these big things, and they pull it back, and try it, because certain carpet have different colors in the carpet. They say, all right, I'm gonna use brown for this section right here, and then I'm gonna put this other section in here, different heavy thread to go in there and weave it and stuff like that. So sometimes now they just dye it, and sell it, you know, cut a certain pattern and just dye it and sell it to you out there. But when you talk about expensive carpet coming from Egypt and all in places, they're expensive because they weave it in, or sometimes you weave in certain pattern and weave it in and make it tight. Persian rugs and things like that, and they can cost a lot of money too. Even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work. So it's a lot of work going on here, a lot of work. Everybody's working, and working and oversee and make sure everything is done correctly, so pleasing to the Most High. Nabia?
Esau said, man, the heck with this. Esau scared from the Most High. I'll build a machine to do it.
There you go. That's what we did too.
Yeah, just like you said, they have an embroidery machine, but for the person to program the machine to do a certain embroidery, they have to program it. They have to put that pattern in the embroidery machine, so they can say, okay, this color for here, like you're making somebody's a flower, this color here, this shade here, that color thread, because you have to keep changing different color thread. You have a thing that has multicolored threads in there, and then embroidery machine does know how to use certain colors for certain time and come out like that. But you can do it by hand by using different color thread and stitch right here, and then just say like a checkered square. You could say, okay, I'm using white thread for here, using black thread for here, and to show, the word going in and out for certain section. You could draw it out first, and then do it so it can look nice and even. And also you can, after it's done, you could probably just have it tight and put it down and press it. So just press down and look nice and tight in the back of it, tight in the back of it. And it looks nice. So because, I do a little sewing.
Yeah.
So I do a little sewing, so you kind of see the thread going in and out, and put it, and you check the back of it also, that the thread is not loose on the back, and you do it. And even if you're in the back of it, you could even put fabric glue to keep it in place. Or even now you could, after it's done, you could spray it a certain, finish, so I can keep everything intact, so it doesn't become loose.
So we got a Wednesday class?
No. No, I just because with the sewing machine, it does it going in and out, and have to be changing thread and rip, bobbins and all of that stuff. So simple stuff. No, 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 no. I said you could do it by hand, just draw it out and use different color thread for it. So you have to know what you're doing. Do it on scrap material first, then yeah, because embroidery machine they can cost a lot of money too. And all of these patterns, you have to buy them and put the chip in and all that stuff, and that's just one pattern. Or the other person can just say, I can't be bothered with that. Just let me buy a patch and iron it on, or buy a patch and sew it on. Or just got even the iron on is glue in the back, and you just have to put a handkerchief over it and just iron it certain temperature for a little while, and it glues on and it stays and it looks good.
Those patches are pretty much, you can use a pattern to say what you're saying. They just mass produce that same pattern.
Yeah, and just have it cut out and sell it to you. Yeah, back in the days they used to have the cloth patch, and I did have a jacket back in there to get the patch and just sew it by hand. Now they have glue back, so people don't want to sew. They just put it on, use an iron and iron it. So I like my regular patch that you could sew on, because sometimes the glue back is raising up. So, but once you stitch it to a certain kind of match the color of the patch, then it stays on. Not like saying yeah. So that's Exodus chapter 35. So we're gonna take a half an hour break and come back at 1:55.
Fabio, I got a question for you.
Stop broadcasting. So sit tight. This is still a Sabbath day. No cooking. I know heated up. Shalom. See you at 1:55.